Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, so we have the Eight of Cups tonight, which has everything to do with indolence. We'll see. We'll see how this all fits in with the tea leaves. All right. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to hit that like button or leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. All right, so we have a cat's face right here. You can see the eyes and the little nose and the mouth, and here's the head. And it's very cute, very sweet. Now above, on sitting kind of perched on its head, we have, it looks like maybe a seagull. That's what I'm seeing, a seagull. So we have a seagull sitting up here. Over here, it looks like we have two fish. Which makes sense, right? We're talking about Cancer. Nope. As far as water signs go, yes. I was thinking, yeah. So we have, we have the two fish, and I immediately started to think, oh my goodness, it all makes sense. And then I'm like, oh yeah, we're talking about Pisces, I think. Dearest Lenor, we're talking about a Pisces. Yes. So maybe the Pisces energy, but I also think that, and I've said this many times before, Pisces and Cancer, very similar kinds of, at least how I have experienced Pisces and Cancer people. Very, very similar. Though I feel like Cancer people are a little more proactive and maybe really have more accessibility to that, not just the inspiration or the creativity, but the motivation to actually see your projects through. So that's a big one. But so it does seem like maybe we have a Pisces person also in the mix of things. Okay. And so I want to go ahead. I want to look at the cat. The cat to me really kind of is representative of your independence. Very individual, very independent, often probably fairly solitary, unwilling to kind of abide anybody else's ideas of how you might live, or just kind of the world. Your perception of the world is your own. You're not living in somebody else's world view or reality. You're very much at peace with being sometimes maybe a little bit of an outsider, really, and maybe even taking a little bit of pride in not being kind of wrapped up in the mainstream of things, or that you don't just kind of fold to the popular opinion. Okay, now the seagull up top. The seagull is a very scrappy bird, right? We all have at least seen videos of seagulls. We know that they are the pirates of French fries and chips and really whatever you're eating, right? If you're near the ocean or near the big lakes, any of the big lakes, you have seen some some seagulls around, and they can get, pretty pushy, right? Loud, pushy. They will follow you. They will continue to go where any food is, where people are either giving it out or carrying it or whatever, throwing it away. They're there. So I feel like with this energy on top here up by the head on the brain. I feel like you have your teeth in something, right? You have found your next big fixation, that obsession, that thing that you will be loyal to until, you cease to have interest in it. But I think that just you are following this desire, this excitement, just you're captivated. You are following this passion with all of your might. You're not giving up. And so I feel like you're going into kind of a hermit mode period. And not because of anything sad, but I think because you have something that you want to work on. You have something that you want to immerse yourself in, And this might be for the weekend. You might be watching a show, just completely marathoning it. It might be something like a new project, a new job. Maybe you're going into like a new skill set. You want to go to school. You want to get some training, an apprenticeship, whatever it is. I see you really following through on this one, okay? This will be completed. It's not going to be a half-done project that just gets abandoned, okay? So this, I feel like, will be the beginning of this next kind of cycle of things coming into the new year. Now, we have the two fish here, so we have the Pisces energy. We also have a fish over here, just kind of by its lonesome. But either way, I feel like money is good, right? Money is coming in. You're feeling maybe more and more financially secure. You are getting those resources that you have worked so hard for. Ultimately, I feel like you are pretty proud of yourself for the work that you have been doing. Now, we also have the word J-O-B, job. So I do feel like, at least in this part of your life, you are pretty stoked on kind of deriving a lot of self-confidence from your work, right? And I don't think that this has always been the case, not because you haven't been good at what you do, but I think that maybe when you were younger, you had this idea that my work is just my work, and it's just kind of what I do. It has nothing to do with me as a person. I'm not gonna, get all boastful or egotistical, because that is something separate from who I am as a being, right? Well, that's all true. I think that's probably a really, good point. But I also think there's nothing wrong with finding meaning in the things that you spend your hours doing, right? Whatever we are concerning ourselves with, whatever we are giving our time, our effort, our very soul, really, whatever we're giving all of that to, if you're working at, a fast food place, or if you're running, like a huge corporation, it doesn't matter. You have the same amount of hours in a day, supposedly. And, where you put your time is very much a part of you. And that's just the reality of things. And so, I think that at this time, you are so involved with the work that you have been doing, with your career, with your job, that it is maybe one of the more central things in your life. And that's not a sad thing. I think really in this case, you are finding a lot of joy. Or if it's not joy, at least a lot of purpose and ease. Trusting in, I know what I'm doing and I do it well, right? And so I feel like there is a confidence that maybe is, something that you haven't always had. But here it is, and it is becoming more prominent. And I think that this really is kind of a key, the confidence, the believing in yourself, a key to open many more doors for you. Okay? So I want to keep turning this a little bit and see. Okay, so we have a large bear face. And we have two people and a snake. We also have the number 3013. 3013. We have two people, three people, it looks like actually. One is holding a shield, one's holding a sword, and the other one looks like a cat. Down here we have a person who is waving. They have a heart for a head. So they are very love-minded. So I feel like... Now we have this bear. Let's look at it. We have the bear, the ears, here are the eyes, the nose, the mouth. And it doesn't look happy. Right? It reminds me of when I was a kid. I had, gosh, what was that bear called? He had like a Teddy Ruxpin, I think it was called. He had a tape player in his like chest or stomach or whatever. And he would like, you know, tell you stories or whatever because he played the tapes. And I remember my brother and I really wanted one, and we got one for like Christmas or something, and I immediately shoved crackers into it, and I think it ended up getting broken, but that's what that's what it reminds me of, just like a sad bear. But I feel like it's almost like somebody from your childhood. Maybe it is a sibling, maybe it is a good friend, but we have this repeating snake. We have one right here, we have one up here. Now this one is caught by two people. You can see this person's holding it. This person is kind of being shown to right here. So I kind of, I get the impression that there is somebody close to you in your life, maybe in your family, maybe in your friends group, that is... snake in the grass, right? That is, they're a liar, they may be predatory, maybe they're out for self, maybe they just want to cause chaos and hurt and pain, revenge, whatever it is, okay? And I feel like this is being revealed to you. Not that you did not already know something was sketchy about this person, but I feel like this is the first time you have absolute proof. Okay, I feel like this is really hurtful, very hurtful for you. Even though you knew what they were like, and you know, it's like when you meet somebody or you're starting to hang out with somebody, and you start to notice they're always talking poorly of people, especially people close to them, like their best friend, their mom, their dad, you know, their siblings, their whoever, like they just have nothing good to say, but they may or may not be like totally fake in front of these people otherwise, right? But then they're talking about them behind the back, and you know, this is a person that's going to talk about me. This is a person that's going to tell my secrets. Yeah, this is a person that's going to, you know, constantly have negative stuff, right? Not just about me, but about everybody. And so you can't be surprised when you hear, oh yeah, they've been talking about me, right? Because you know what kind of person they are. They're always talking about people. So I feel like this is maybe not exactly about talking about you, but I feel like this is somebody that you knew was sketchy. You knew that they were, you know, had some shady stuff going on, or they just, you know, they weren't exactly as they appeared, or they present themselves. And so when this happens, it's kind of like, well, I knew, I should have known, or I already kind of had an idea, but seeing it for sure, you know, seeing the receipts, you're like, okay, I hoped it wasn't true, but now I know it is. you know? And so I feel like there's going to be kind of a conflict within the family or within the friends group or the relationship or whatever. And I feel like it is pretty painful because this is somebody you've known for a long time, you know? And I feel like you have a lot of love. But this is just, it's too much. And I think that ultimately, part of why you go into this kind of hermit mode that you are gearing up towards. Now, we also have the number 410. 410. Okay. All right. Now, let's go over here. So we have a heart, a fire sign, and a 6. Heart, fire sign, and a 6. So I feel like we need to use the cards. I'm thinking, you know, we have like maybe the 6 of it's not really that though, is it? I want to ask, who is this? What is this going on? Because I feel like it's an arrival. It feels like an arrival of somebody. So I want to see what's going on with this 6, fire sign, and a heart. So we have indecision. Okay, so maybe having a hard time after all this stuff is like starting to play out, making any kind of like real decision. Now there's romance. Okay, so having drama within the family, but there's also this like arrival of a romantic energy in your life. I also feel like this is kind of almost like it feels like it is in rebellion, you know, maybe not of any person or anything, any concept or whatever, but I feel like what it's about is like you're rebelling against that like awful feeling. Instead of deciding like, oh, this person lied to me, this person did me wrong, everybody is out to do me wrong, I choose love. I choose romance. I choose to remain the, you know, starry-eyed lover that I am. And I do that. I stand against all of that vileness, all of that evil, all of that treachery in rebellion. And I do that with love. And I do it with love. And that's what it feels like. Decision. So we have indecision, but you make a decision. And I feel like it's very much what we just said. Now, there is coral. Like we said, we have a coral with maybe I don't know. I don't know who it is exactly, but there is this coral that is going on within the family. And there's detachment. That's a fortune. We have revenge. I guess it is. It's like the revenge is, or what do they say? The best revenge is doing well, right? Having a good life after somebody did you wrong, or you went through some terrible falling out or breakup or whatever. But, you know, ultimately, we also have this indolence energy, right? We have the 8 of Cups. So here's the thing. I feel like, you know, your pain, your suffering is going to be if you don't make a decision, if you don't stand on your values, your feelings, your emotions, your beliefs, whatever it is, you know. Making sure that you show up for yourself, making sure you don't just let this thing roll over you, which I don't think that you would. But, you know, some of us, you know, sometimes it's just like, I'd rather just not get involved, you know, and then that just becomes, you know, the beginning of just a lot of hardship, right? Especially within the family. It's hard to be Switzerland when somebody's coming at you. So, I feel like ultimately making your decision, standing on that decision, and it does. It seems like it, that is the way. Going to be in movement, to be in activation, right? Okay, now I'm just looking this up really quick. I wanted to see. So the hearts, so it is the Six of Cups. I'm just really interested in this because the Six of Cups in the Thoth system is pleasure. But it feels like this is a spiritual pleasure. Not just a physical thing. This is a deeply emotional. And, I think ultimately finding within yourself, it's almost like finding your own manual, right? And realizing if I just disengage or just decide I'm not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna let them think what they think, whatever. That's all well and fine, but I think for you it creates blockages, and I feel like it creates resentment. It creates a sense of just letting people kind of walk all over you. Not that other people see it that way, but I feel like you feel that way. So in taking this action, I feel like it's like you really honoring your authentic being, right? And it's not that you want to be aggressive or you want to argue it out or, make it this big deal, but just stating, I'm done. This isn't cool. You don't do this to me. You don't do this to people. I'm not here for all of this. Allowing yourself to just say what it is. It's like it blows all the windows and doors wide open for you. And I feel like that's where that pleasure really does come in. There is a sense of fortitude, a sense of command, a sense of I know what I'm doing. I know how to, I know how to honor myself and get myself going, not being stopped in place because of this, drama BS that's going on. And so let's do our lucky numbers real quick. We're going to do 3. Ooh, we have the number 83, 83, 36, 83, 36, and 58. 83, 36, 58. All right. And we will finish with our Mary Magdalene Oracle cards. And I'm just going to flip through and stop where it feels right. Beloved, love never ends. Beloved, love never ends. It does not, Cancer. You know this. Woo! All right. Well, I want to tell you I love you because I do. And I think that you know that. I think that you know I always will, and I always have, and I always. And if you would be so kind to, I know, can you tell it's my last reading? I missed 2 days. 2 days. I usually work 7 days a week. I didn't film for 2 days because I had the stomach flu. And now I'm back. I'm trying to make up some of the ones I missed, and I'm like on my last one right now. And you can hear it in my voice, and it's just all like merging together here at the end. But yeah, so thank you so much for being here. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. Also, if you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear from you. Absolutely. I read all of them, and they mean so much to me. All right, with that again, I'm going to say I love you, I love you, I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk again real soon, and good night.